was wise not to name those funding Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho. Welcome to the news, and thank you for tuning in to listen. The speech made by President Muhammad Buhari on October 1st, 2021 was the first Independence Day speech made by President Buhari that did not receive much criticism from the usual quarters. This is my opinion. However, the disclosure by the President that certain high-profile individuals have been identified by the government as the financiers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho has made a lot of Nigerians somewhat perturbed that their identities were not made public. The President further satiated our appetite for sensationalization by adding that a sitting senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is among the suspected financiers being investigated. Classic and masterfully played. Firstly, the presidents have avoided a media trial of a suspect before their actual trial in court begins. Only a fool or an uninformed person would discountenance the place of public opinion in a world driven by technology as we have it today. People will take sides and express opinions that are based mostly on sentiment. This will further heat up the polity and the country. Secondly, naming the financiers would amount to naming and shaming them. This is not what the government is for. Recall that when journalists wanted to know why the identities of terrorist financiers were not made public, Mr. Femi Adesina made it known that Buhari's government was not interested in bringing the malefactors. Buhari's government was interested in bringing the malefactors to justice, which invariably means they have to be charged to court before the public knows their finances. Thirdly, the government needs to build an ironclad case against whoever the suspects are, of which failure would mean a lost opportunity to put the suspects out of business and possibly out of circulation. If they are set free by the court as a result of poor investigation, they could harm the government further by suing for damages in hundreds of millions and would have the opportunity to continue funding agitations in Nigeria. Fourthly, naming and shaming will give them the opportunity to make moves or take steps that could jeopardize the ongoing investigation against them. That is, they could subvert the investigation. If this happens, the government will come out empty-handed and will have failed in blocking the source of financing for agitators. Fifth, the suspects could panic and make mistakes that would make government investigation easy. This is very likely because they now know that the government is into them and would want to make effort to tidy up their acts. Lastly, some of them might decide to abscond from the country in a bid to avoid being arrested and tried in a court of law. The recent Mr. Sunday Igboho travails and travel are a case in point. While there are other angles to the above reasons why it was proper that the president did not name the financiers being investigated, the president's decision not to identify them in his October 1st speech was a wise one. You call the act of cowardice wiseness. You can as well call his inability to prosecute those that you are sponsoring Boko Haram braveness. Poverty has made majority of poor Nigerians to lose sense of humanity and justice. 1,000 naira gifts can make some of these writers shamelessly publish non-essential articles. Okay. He knows nothing. How did people came to know that their finances were agitated in the first place? If I'm among them, I will leave this country by now. Nnamdi Kanu is an activist, not a terrorist. But we should be talking about the finances of Boko Haram in Asu Rock. They have nothing. They are only making noise and unguided statements that have put all the lawmakers in trouble. Few days after the statement, Nigerian lawmakers was detained in Ghana for 4 hours, only to receive sorry at the end of the day. Now, that is very sad. He has refused to name their financiers, but also has refused to arrest Boko Haram bandit sponsor because they are his kinsmen. Okay. Buhari, have you named those funding Boko Haram and Fulani headsmen and bandit kidnappers in Nigeria? So when you heard people who are agitating for marginalization and you refuse to name those who want the Fulanis Nigeria, meaning you're the culprits. Well, naming them is not the issue, I keep saying. Whether you name them or whether you don't name them or... The thing is, they should be prosecuted. We don't even want words. We are tired of hearing words and statements and speeches. We want action. These people did this, you prosecute them. In prosecuting them, of course, their names will be out. It is saddening that there is so much injustice and unfairness almost everywhere. Everyone seems to have been, you have gotten the injustice to the extent that you yourself, you don't see it as anything again. I'm not going to be the first person. That's what is going on in our country today. What is bad is bad. Those financing, we don't even know. We don't know because they have not even said anything about this particular issue. They have not said anything concerning it. They have just been saying they have in possession the names, that they have in possession the names. And at the end of the day, we do not see any names. Now they are saying they are not going to mention the names, that if they mention the names, that a lot of things will happen, the investigation might go wrong, and what have you. Are you serious? Are you serious? This is actually uncalled for. If you want to mention the names, mention it. If you do not want to, fine. Do not mention them then, but rather prosecute them. Even the ones you have seen, the ones, this one, you don't even have the names, the so-called Boko Haram repenters that you have seen with your 2 eyes. What did you do to them? What did you do to them? And you're coming out to say that you have the finances of the agitators, the Yoruba Nation agitators, and the Biafran Nation. Agitators are agitators. Terrorists are traitors. So saying you have the names for the finances of the agitators, I don't really even see in the first place how that is a problem. I don't really see it. They pose no threat. All they are calling for is for restructuring and the referendum. Where the main stress is, or when the main issue is that these terrorists, they pose threats to lives, they pose threats to property, they pose threats to a lot of things. A lot of things has happened. Our economy has been crippled. People can no longer go out due to these banditry activities. People are now confined to their houses. Those that live, live in places where this banditry is high, they cannot even leave their houses for fear of they are going to be attacked. And even when they don't leave their houses, this particular crisis gets to them. So these people are not in any way, they are not the enemy here. The enemy will know is the enemy that is available now. This terrorism that is traveling, that is causing this or wreaking this havoc on Nigeria, and on both Nigeria, on Nigeria's economy, and on Nigerian citizens. On this note, we come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen till I come your way next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.